Hiya, it's Tuesday's Talking Reds. I'm Josh Sexton. I'm joined today by my mate Kev Walsh. Kev, you looked at my agenda straight away and decided it was light, and it is a bit light, to be fair, isn't it?
It is very light, but Knobhead Tuesdays will make it work, mate.
Knobhead Tuesdays will make it work. I've been drafted in as a fellow knobhead for this Knobhead Tuesday. And speaking of knobheads, Joe Gomez has been talking about Raheem Sterling. Joe Gomez not being the knobhead, by the way. Raheem Sterling being the knobhead in this scenario. But it's quite interesting, really, Kev, because I think when you look back on it and you think about who, from what we know from the outside of Joe Gomez's character, he does seem sort of quite placid, and obviously he is a big lad, so you could imagine he could handle himself in a fight. But the way that he sort of talks about that period is interesting, because he talks about it being a difficult period. He said that he enjoys his football, but that sort of being in the limelight for him was tough, and he got asked about being booed by England fans. It's all in The Athletic, by the way, and he says that sort of incident made him a bit more standoffish. And for me, he talks about the incident specifically with Sterling and says, look, what happened, it's in the past and things like that. And I sort of agree to an extent that things can happen with teammates sometimes. You've seen it on the pitch that teammates sometimes get into it, and obviously there's a sort of club rivalries and things to think about there. But for me, it's the booing situation from the England fans which has left a really sour taste for me.
Do you know what I think that the booing stems from? Because obviously if that was, say it's John Terry when he was playing and Raheem Sterling, it just gets put down to, as you just said, it happens. But I think because it's Joe Gomez and he plays for Liverpool, the England fans already know, well, it's all the Scouse not English thing, and I'm not a massive advocate of Scouse not English as such. I think sometimes it's a little bit over the top, but I'm not one bit interested in England at all. Do you know what I mean? I'm 100% committed to Liverpool. And I think if Joe Gomez had been playing for somebody else, I'm not sure as much would have been made from the England fans. And that's historically the way it has been. England fans know that Liverpool fans, we just don't care about them. In fact, I actively want them to get beat sometimes, because a lot of England fans are absolute fucking weapons. Some Liverpool fans are, so that, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I've just got no affection for the national team at all. I think most Liverpool fans probably feel the same. Joe Gomez, he's in a position now where he should... I heard them talking the other day about Harry Maguire leading the line. I was watching the Man United game and talking about Harry Maguire being England's number one centre-half. And I just thought, that just sums up England, because if he's the number one centre-half, where does that put Joe Gomez? Joe Gomez is twice the player Harry Maguire will ever be. But Maguire's like a bit more of a natural England selection, a bit more of the blood and thunder, but with not really any skill to go with it. Do you know what I mean? Most England fans love that, someone who's willing to put the body on the line and all that. Putting your body on your line only gets you so far. That's why you never win anything. Someone like you could put a defence around Joe Gomez and build something that actually works. Do you know what I mean? If you're willing to take the change and maybe put like a Dean Henderson in goal or something like that behind Joe Gomez and say to Maguire, listen, you play, but you're the secondary centre half to Joe Gomez, and we do what he says. Whereas you can just see Maguire. He just wouldn't accept that, would he? With his big, massive head, as I'm Man United captain. That type of attitude it'll just pervade everything he does, and it pervades everything in England all the time.
I sort of wonder as well whether it sort of comes from a bit of a common misconception as a
the whole match is just let out, so you have to just bear with us.
It sort of comes from me from a bit of a common misconception that Virgil van Dijk's made Joe Gomez the sort of player he is, and I think there's a bit of merit in that, in terms of I think that Virgil van Dijk is one of them players who raises the level of others around him. But I think Joe Gomez has showed in the appearances he made this season where Virgil's not been there, that he's just as capable of doing the things that Virgil van Dijk does, and that's why I think he as you say, he should be the leading centre half for England, in my opinion.
100%. Joe Gomez is. Listen, everyone's game is improved by playing with Virgil van Dijk. We've said that about every centre half. He's made, not necessarily on Saturday against Watford, but he's dragged Lovren's level up, he's dragged Matip's level up. He makes Andrew Robertson. He gives him the freedom to do the good things that he does. And sometimes when Trent was a little bit younger, he'd be getting a little bit of stick about maybe his defensive work. And I always thought it was a bit unfair, because obviously Robertson plays on the left-hand side, and naturally that's where Van Dijk plays as well. So teams are not going to attack down that side, so you're naturally funneled over to the other side, so there was more pressure on Trent. Whereas with Joe Gomez, when he's come in, it feels like, obviously Van Dijk has raised his level to an extent, but what they've done, instead of like he's raising his level and oh my god, it's hard playing with him, they formed a partnership, and you see it off the pitch as well. They've got such a great relationship. You've seen some of the videos the club have done, which they're great at doing now. But Joe Gomez doesn't strike me as sort of... There'd be a lot of players who look at Van Dijk and go, oh, I'm made up, I'm playing with him. Whereas it feels like Joe Gomez sort of feels, well, this is the type of player I will be playing.
Because I'm playing because
I'm playing for the best team in the world. We're world champions, we're going for European Cups, we're going to win the league this year. Of course, that's the type of players we're playing against. Whereas I feel with some other players, they'd be thinking, oh, I'm made up to be playing alongside Van Dijk. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it raises the level. But I think it says a lot about Joe Gomez that that's the way he views it. Because he's dead laid back anyway, isn't he? Like, as he said in the Athletic article, he's just like a bit more keep himself to himself. He's not really after the limelight and that. Because he's laid back and he's confident in his own ability, so he doesn't have to worry about he knows that the recognition will come from doing what he does well.
Yeah, and obviously it's Chelsea coming up tonight. I'm sort of expecting Joe Gomez to be one of the leading lights in this team tonight. I really hope that he does start. We are going to get more into the team news in a second, more into the centre halves at Liverpool in a second as well. But first, we're just going to give you a short clip of the preview show.
Chelsea remind me a bit of probably Liverpool in the early 2000s. Lots good players with good quality on their day, but just not consistent. They've lost, that spine of a team. That's elite level, and they're trying to figure out whether Mount and Abraham and players like that can do it enough for them. The centre halves look good, but they're still in a rebuilding phase, aren't they? And that's obviously not been helped by the transfer market. And Lampard's trying to figure that out and take them forward under that rebuild. I watched them a bit of Hull, and they looked all right, but they were got at by Hull. They didn't look confident. Partly maybe players come in and they don't know how to approach it. Whereas the players Liverpool will bring in have played in or around the first team. I think it's likely to be a half and half kind of team for us. But I think you'll see them. They will want it, but there is a thing of even their players they bring in. Their spine of whatever team they put out. I'd expect Liverpool's spine to probably be stronger or to be better quality. So it will just come down to it on the night. It'll be curious because Chelsea might also be thinking about the Champions League. They might be thinking about being back into the being in the Champions League again. Not going to win it. Nowhere to go in the league now. So they're thinking, well, we've just got to concentrate on making sure we can be top four or being in or around for top four, particularly if Man City are banned. Because it's tight in or around them positions. So Lampard will want to make changes, but he's got a few injuries anyway. So what will they do? Up front without someone like Abraham. He says, watch this now, but they haven't really looked like a major threat from forward. So what will he try and do? How will he try and replicate that? Williams a good player from midfield. They've got good midfield. Barkley can score goals, but they didn't really look against Hull that much of a threat from certainly from the forwards when Batshuayi was playing and stuff like that. So I'm really curious to see what Chelsea do at home. There's that rivalry with Liverpool, so I think their fans will expect something that maybe their team isn't actually able to deliver. So, a good chance, and I'm with Ian now. The results, the chance of going unbeaten's gone. So now it's on us to try and win as many trophies as possible. So I think you'll see a stronger Liverpool team and players, as you say, knocking on the manager's door saying they fancy it.
Yeah, that is a clip from our preview show. It was part of the second look yesterday, so make sure you check that out. It's on our YouTube channel, as you'll probably know by now. Kev, there was questions from yesterday's Talking Reds, and one of them was, interestingly, because I know me and you had a bit of a heated discussion. I was going to say a row, but that's because I'm carrying over the Gomez and Sterling lingo into this second part. But we had a bit of a heated debate. We were both on the team talk yesterday as well, sort of talking about this. The question was, you guys think Lovren's done at Liverpool? Do you guys think Lovren's done at Liverpool? And I think that's a different question to be fair to what we were talking about, because I think there's probably
we were a little bit more talking the polar opposite ends of things. Is he absolutely shite? And obviously you get into talking language like that, it doesn't work out. But
and also rating Lovren and thinking if he's got a future at Liverpool are two different things. Where you could think Lovren is absolutely shite and still think that because of the way Klopp is that he has got a future at Liverpool. I actually don't think Lovren's a shit footballer at all, to be honest. I think he's technically good enough to play for Liverpool in terms of the fact that he is being given his chance by Jurgen Klopp. However, I think he's done at Liverpool in the sense that he nearly left in the summer, and I can't see any reason why that wouldn't change going into this summer. Why he wouldn't be still available for a transfer?
Yeah, I think it's run its course. I disagree with you slightly on his technical abilities. I don't think he is good enough for Liverpool. I think he's raised his level at times and looked like a good footballer for Liverpool, but I think that's different to being able to rely on him. If you look at his last couple of performances, Watford the other day was an absolute abomination. It was a terrible performance, and I know everyone had a bad day against Watford, and his was worse. Me and you spoke about confirmation bias, and for someone who doesn't really rate Lovren, you're always going to blame that on him. But it was just the whole thing. Surely someone must have said to him before the game, do not get involved with Troy Deeney. Don't start trying to fight him. And all he's done for 90 minutes was try and fight him. And Troy Deeney referenced it after the match. I think at times he's been okay. But the issue is, he's a fourth choice centre-half. And so if you just have him at his best level, he's okay. But the thing is, at his best level, he's got to have played for however many games to get there. And the Shrewsbury game, he has a nightmare there again, I thought, in the away leg. He's had that nightmare there. I just think at the age that he is, he probably wants to play football. It's a natural break now, I think, where you say, okay, well, thanks for all you've done. You've won a league, you've won a European Cup. Hopefully you won another European Cup this summer, and we've got a chance for an FA Cup. Obviously, if you can get through tonight, all the better. So I think it's a natural breaking point. And let's put it this way, if Klopp was looking to buy a fourth-choice centre-half and Lovren was available from another club, I don't think he'd buy him. So I think that tells you all you need to know. Your issue is, obviously, we've just spoken about how highly we rate Joe Gomez. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk's the best in the world. Joel Matip, I think, perfectly acceptable third choice, stroke fourth choice. Then your issue is what you do for your other centre-half. So your natural thing would be thinking maybe, okay, well, you have a young player in there. Yep. Vandenberg doesn't look ready. I don't think, and I'm not sure Klopp would think that. Keanu Hoover, maybe. Oh, he looks like the real deal to me, but he's very, very young. Yeah. It's all right saying he's fourth choice. You don't expect him to play a few games. It was only last season and the season before, Lovren and Matip were getting runs in the team due to injuries and suspensions and what have you. So it might be dangerous to have it there, but the other bit of me thinks, I think I'd rather have a youngster as the fourth choice with the possibility of dropping Fabinho in there, as much as that would take out of the midfield, and just developing another youngster that way, because I think, as I say, it's a natural break for Lovren, and listen, he's been a good servant to Liverpool, but he divides opinion, because obviously me and you've got divided opinions upon him, but I think it's a natural breaking point where we can all shake hands and say thanks for everything that you've done, but it's over now.
Does he start for you tonight? Because I think there's a lot of people who are sort of putting their full, what they class as Liverpool's second string 11 out tonight now. I'm one of the ones who thinks actually, because Gomez didn't play at the weekend, I think Tuesday, Saturday is not that bad. I think Gomez should go tonight, because I think you saw at Shrewsbury as well that having Lovren and Matip, who are both out of rhythm together, both sort of lacking that match sharpness, having them two together is problematic. I think Matip would actually be better off having someone like Gomez next to him rather than having Lovren next to him, and I think because Lovren did play at the weekend, he should be the one who naturally drops out.
Yeah, I would think so. The only reason I think maybe that might not happen is because Klopp is very contradictory, isn't he? So everyone's telling him how bad Lovren's played and it was all Lovren's fault. That's exactly the type of thing that would make Klopp say, well, watch this, and he's going to play again. But I think for the best thing for the team and for going through in the FA Cup, it's surely got to be, for me anyway, Gomez and Matip, because I think Matip could do it getting a minute in his legs. Gomez, he didn't play Saturday, so he's not going to be tired as such, and we need a bit of a leader, as you say. The Matip-Lovren centre-half partnership against Shrewsbury was a nightmare, do you know what I mean? It got bullied by a League 1 or League 2, I don't even remember what league they were in, do you know what I mean? So I think Lovren, the only way you get to game today is if Klopp is saying to everyone, listen, the more you criticise, the more I'm going to blame.
Yeah. What's your thinking around the team tonight? I know we discussed it a little bit on the team talk yesterday, so if you've not listened to that, that's on Audio Boom and Spotify, so make sure you do go and listen to that. But I've sort of talked myself around from that point to actually a bit of a stronger team. I'm expecting a few more of the first team players in there. I think Mane probably gets his game tonight. I think it'd probably be then Origi and Minamino. I'm thinking some combination of Fabinho, Jones and probably Chamberlain in midfield is what I think I've talked myself into, and then probably Nico Williams would be the other sort of youngster that I play in that team.
Yeah, I think you're probably bang on there for what I'd have picked. I think Nico Williams has earned his spot, as has Curtis Jones, so you put them in there. I think Fabinho, I don't know whether he desperately needs minutes, but he looks still rusty, doesn't he, after his injury? So I think any opportunity to get him on the pitch is probably a good thing to do. So get him in there. Your midfield, obviously, the cheery fella probably deserves a go, doesn't he? But maybe Oxlade-Chamberlain is another one who could do with maybe getting the minutes in his legs again, and 2 starts in 2 games for him will probably boost his confidence a little bit. So there's your midfield picked. And I think up front, yeah, you're probably right. We need to bring in one of the main men, because Harvey Elliott's not there, is he? So that's one extra option out. I think Origi is pretty much guaranteed to start. I think Minamino probably is pretty much guaranteed to start again. So you're looking who fits in with that, and I think it is probably Mane. Mane just does more running and is a little bit more rough and tumble, which sounds mad to say when you consider the treatment that Salah's been getting this season, because Salah's had to be rough and tumble, hasn't he? Some of the tackles and the rules that he's having to play by. But I think this game just sort of suits Mane, and as we discussed yesterday, it's probably going to be a changed Chelsea team as well. And if they see a Mane up front, they're just thinking, oh my God, it just puts a little bit of doubt in the mind and hopefully creates a little bit of room for Origi and Minamino. Both of them could really do with a goal.
Yeah, could really do with a load of goals tonight. Liverpool could really do with a big win as well. We're going to have more build-up to the game ahead of tonight, and we're going to have loads of reaction in the aftermath as well. That's all going to be free. The video will be out on YouTube. That is the post-match pint. We'll have the post-match show out on Audio Boom and Spotify, as I said before. The website is still down at the moment, so we're still sort of working through all those things. So all the content is free for now, but stay tuned and hopefully we'll have more updates, positive updates on that soon. But nice one, Kev. The rest.